Okay. All right. Joining us now is the Republican senator from the state of Wisconsin, Ron Johnson, a longtime member of the Senate Homeland Security Committee. Senator Johnson, thank you for being back here on the Hill on NewsNation. I don't know if you got a screen in front of you, but on one side of the TV, we can see you, and on the other side of the TV, we can see the ongoings there in Eagle Pass, Texas. Mick Mulvaney, you just heard from him on a national emergency. Do you think that President Biden needs to declare one as it relates to the southern border?
Well, first of all, Merry Christmas. But let's get something straight. Let's get something straight. President Biden entered office with a largely secured border. He caused this. He is the root cause. He and his Democrat colleagues want an open border. Now it's got out of control. It's the election year, and they're thinking, oh, we better do something about this. But under Barack Obama, DHS Secretary Jay Johnson said 1,000 people a day overwhelmed the system. President Trump had to deal with about 3,000 or 4,000 people a day. This is an order of magnitude worse than what Obama had to deal with. But again, President Biden caused this. He wants an open border. That's a significant difference from, for example, President Trump, who wanted to close the border.
Let's look forward here. And I found it interesting that, you know, Mick, who knows policy as much as you do, Senator, suggested that maybe this means that there's not going to be a deal. And you're in the Senate right now as it relates to Speaker Johnson sending this letter over to President Biden. Are you in the camp that there is going to be an immigration deal wrapped up with some sort of Israel and Ukraine funding, or no?
This isn't about immigration reform. This is about securing our border. The open border policy of this administration is a clear and present danger to America. Of the more than 6 million people who've come in under the Biden administration, about 1.7 million were detected gotaways. They call them known gotaways, but that's a misnomer. We have no idea who these people are. We have no idea where they are. We don't know where most of the 6 million people went.
Do you think there's going to be a deal?
Obviously, it's a catastrophe. Most of the mainstream media has largely ignored it. So
do you think,
President Biden's gotten away with it, but now they can't ignore it. 14,000 people entered on Monday. 14,509 people. This is completely out of control. And now Democrats are saying we ought to do something about it, put a Band-Aid on this. But again, they caused this. They wanted an open border, which makes it very difficult to enter negotiations with them to secure the border.
We're not ignoring it. We're covering this here every day. And if you watch NewsNation, you know that. I'm just trying to get a sense of, do you think that there is going to be a deal on the border? And if so, what does that look like?
Well, again, it has to be able to secure the border. And we know how to do it. Okay. President Trump did it using existing law. You need consequences. The problem is this is an order of magnitude larger. 14,500 people a day, I saw a ratio 200 to 1. I think that's probably low. It's overwhelmed the system. How do you get control of it now? So the horse out of the barn here, this is going to be very difficult to put this all back together. But we have to. So it starts with an administration that actually wants to secure the border, and we don't have one. That's a significant problem.
And now they're going to, sending the DHS secretary and the Secretary of State down there to Mexico. So again, I'm just trying to understand from you as a Republican in the Senate what you need to see in order to say to Democrats, you know what, that looks good. Let's get a deal on this.
So we need the president to come to Congress. If he thinks he needs more authorities, just ask for it. It will be given to him. The problem is his Democrat colleagues don't want it. I've been listening to what the negotiators are looking for. They're not serious about actually securing the border. They're just simply not. And that's a real problem in trying to actually do it and get it accomplished.
Our last question. It sounds like you are bearish on the concept of a deal getting done. Is that fair to say?
Well, the problem we have is this is a lawless administration. He ignores Supreme Court rulings. He lies repeatedly to the American public. How can you trust him to fulfill any agreement that we actually do with him? It's a real significant problem for Republican negotiators.
Got it. Senator, we got to leave it there. I do appreciate the time here. And as you started off by saying, Merry Christmas, sir. Hope you come on back.
Merry
Happy
Christmas.
New Year as well. Yep, thank you. I wanted to ask him as well about Donald Trump, Colorado, and all that. But the reason why I stayed on that is because I think it was instructive for the audience to hear from a Republican senator how they are feeling right now from their side of the aisle. And then I ask you, when you hear that, it's why I asked the last question, are you bullish or bearish on the prospects of a deal?
Senator Johnson's never been part of a deal to get anything done in the Senate, so I'm not surprised he has no idea what's going on in the negotiations. I wouldn't count him as the barometer for whether a deal's going to get done.
Thank you for watching, and make sure you go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.